The gray zone is getting it correct. And so just to drive this home, here's Noam Chomsky before COVID, so it was before he lost his mind. And here he is going to let you know what the real point of NATO is in the first place. Here's the real point of NATO since 1991.
The question that we ought to be asking ourselves is, why did NATO even exist after 1990? Throughout the whole history of the Cold War, we were told NATO is necessary to defend Western Europe from the Russian hordes, okay? No more Russian hordes. What happens to NATO? It expands, okay? It expands to the east. Its mission changed. Its official mission now is not to defend Europe from the Russian hordes. It's to control the global energy system, sea lanes and pipelines, and to serve as a US-run intervention force. Well, we're all educated intellectuals. We can now ask a question. What was the nature of the propaganda we were fed all those years? I mean, if NATO was there to defend the West from the Russians, why is it now expanding right to the borders of Russia, becoming a global U.S. intervention force, protecting sea lanes and pipelines and so on? What that tells us is all the talk about the Cold War was just a pure lie. And there's plenty more evidence for that, which we can go into. Educated intellectuals don't pursue this line of thought, but it's a pretty obvious one. Well, going on to Ukraine, Mearsheimer's point is that for any Russian leader, whoever it might be, Mahatma Gandhi, Ukraine is right at the core of their geostrategic concerns. For Ukraine to be taken into NATO, which is what is repeatedly threatened, would be a very serious threat to Russian security, quite apart from historical interests, which go way back, the origins of the Russian Empire, in fact. So you can give arguments against Russian interference in eastern Ukraine after the coup that took place there, but it's a complicated story, and the West is not without its significant initiatives there.
So I hope that people appreciate this information. Again, I just want to give you real quick about the pipeline that I teased up top. So there's a pipeline.
Okay, really quickly, let me just say one thing.
Okay.
Let's take a second to acknowledge the insane hypocrisy of all these warmongers right now, who spent the last 5 years hyperventilating over Russia allegedly stealing some emails from Hillary Clinton and putting out some social media memes on Twitter and Facebook. Okay, they were comparing this to Pearl Harbor at 9/11. They see nothing wrong with flooding Ukraine with billions of dollars in weapons and trying to bring it into a hostile military alliance on Russia's borders. The delusional hypocrisy of these people is stunning. And Russiagate, the thing we opposed for 4 years because it was so insane, has brought us to this moment right now. It's completely normalized the insane chauvinism that is driving this war right now.
100%, yes. So here is that the pipeline was built to send gas directly from Russia to Germany, bypassing Ukraine and removing a source of income, as well as a strategic choke point for the former Soviet state. In Europe, the debate over U.S. sanctions is viewed as a play not only for energy security, but for lucrative energy markets, violating territorial sovereignty even as they claim to preserve it. Sanctions are an aggressive instrument in a fossil energy war, Claudia Kempfert, an energy economist, told a German newspaper. She said both Russia and the United States are using natural gas as a political weapon. So that's a big deal because the United States wants to get that natural gas market for us in the United States and not give it up to Russia, which then will control even bigger percentage of the energy, and they will give them more control in Europe. So now I think they have it at 30%. Well, God damn it, why didn't I look this up before? But it's either 30 or 40% of Europe's energy comes from Russia. And so that's what this is about. And if you don't support it, if you don't support Ukrainian Nazis, you're a right-winger. That's what people are saying right now.